Economic history since the 20th century. The 20th century marked a period of profound economic transformation, shaped by key events such as the Industrial Revolution, the Great Depression, World War II, decolonization, and globalization. These historical milestones not only influenced economic structures and policies at the national level, but also had far-reaching implications for the global economy. Industrial Revolution and urbanization. At the beginning of the 20th century, the global economy was in full swing with the industrialization process. The Industrial Revolution, which began in the previous century, led to significant increases in production and technological advancement. The growth of factory production also spurred intense migration from rural areas to cities, resulting in rapid urbanization. The Great Depression and the New Deal. The year 1929 marked the onset of the Great Depression, the most severe economic crisis in history. The stock market crash in New York triggered a global wave of bankruptcies, unemployment, and poverty. In response to this crisis, many countries implemented political and economic programs known as the New Deal. Under the New Deal, governments introduced measures aimed at regulating the economy, protecting workers, and promoting public investment. World War II and post-war reconstruction. World War II caused immense destruction in many countries, but also contributed to economic growth in certain sectors, such as the armaments industry. After the war, many nations embarked on efforts of reconstruction and economic development. In Western Europe, plans such as the Marshall Plan were introduced to support the reconstruction and economic integration of the region. Post-colonial eras and decolonization. Many colonial countries gained independence in the second half of the 20th century. The process of decolonization influenced global economic and trade arrangements, as well as the development of new nations. Often, this process involved attempts at economic transformation, industrialization, and the development of agricultural sectors. Globalization and economic liberalization. In the latter decades of the 20th century, there was a growing trend towards economic liberalization and increased globalization. Many countries implemented economic reforms such as privatization, deregulation, and openness to international trade. The liberalization of trade and increased economic integration had both positive and negative effects, including economic growth, but also social inequalities and job losses in certain sectors. The economic transformation in Poland took place in the 1990s and involved transitioning from a centrally planned socialist economy to a market economy based on capitalist principles. Here's a general overview of the process and effects of economic transformation in Poland. The course of economic transformation in Poland. A pivotal moment was the period from 1989 when Poland underwent a political transformation from a communist regime to parliamentary democracy. This initiated the process of economic reforms. In the first phase of transformation, the government implemented stabilization programs aimed at curbing hyperinflation and stabilizing the economy. Measures such as strict austerity policies and monetary reforms were implemented. Subsequently, economic liberalization was carried out, including the privatization of state-owned enterprises, openness to foreign investment, deregulation, liberalization of trade, and tax reform. There was also a reform of the banking and financial sector aimed at creating a stable and competitive financial system. As part of the economic transformation, restructuring of the agricultural sector was also undertaken, including the introduction of private land ownership and the reform of agricultural production systems. This process of economic transformation in Poland, as in many other countries, involved significant challenges and adjustments. However, it laid the foundation for a more dynamic and market-oriented economy, contributing to Poland's integration into the global economy and its economic development in the subsequent decades. Effects of economic transformation. Economic transformation contributed to significant economic growth in Poland, opening up to international trade, foreign investments, and the development of the private sector contributed to GDP growth. Privatization of the state industry and the development of the private sector brought increased innovation, efficiency, and competitiveness to the Polish economy. However, economic transformation also brought some challenges and difficulties. The privatization process was sometimes uneven and led to wealth concentration in the hands of a few. There was restructuring in the job sector, leading to increased unemployment and job insecurity. Social inequalities also deepened, as some benefited from the transformation, while others lost their jobs or found themselves in difficult economic situations. Economic transformation also brought benefits in the form of greater diversity. The economic transformation witnessed in Poland not only reshaped its economic landscape, but also had profound implications for its social dynamics. Beyond the macroeconomic indicators of growth and productivity, the restructuring of industries and the privatization of state assets significantly altered the social fabric of the country. One interesting aspect to explore is the impact of economic transformation on regional disparities within Poland. While urban centers experienced rapid economic growth and development, rural areas often lagged behind, leading to widening gaps in income and opportunities. Investigating the root causes of these disparities, such as unequal access to education and infrastructure, can provide valuable insights into the social consequences of economic reforms. Furthermore, delving into the effects of economic transformation on vulnerable groups, such as women, youth, and minorities, offers another avenue for exploration. For instance, while some individuals may have benefited from newfound job opportunities and increased mobility, others may have faced heightened risks of exploitation and marginalization. Understanding these differential impacts can inform targeted policy interventions aimed at promoting inclusive growth and social cohesion. Another intriguing angle to consider is the role of civil society and grassroots movements in responding to the challenges posed by economic transformation. From labor unions advocating for workers' rights to community-based organizations providing support to those affected by job losses, there are numerous examples of grassroots initiatives shaping the social response to economic reforms. Exploring the dynamics of these movements and their interactions with government policies can shed light on the evolving social contract in post-transition Poland. Poland's integration into the global economy has been a multifaceted process marked by significant transformations following its economic transition in the 1990s. As the country embraced market-oriented reforms and transitioned from a centrally planned socialist economy to a market economy, it sought to actively engage with the global community and capitalize on opportunities presented by globalization. One of the key pillars of Poland's global integration has been its membership in international organizations, most notably the European Union, EU. Poland joined the EU in 2004, a move that signaled its commitment to European integration and alignment with Western democratic values and institutions. EU membership has provided Poland with access to a large single market, facilitating trade and investment flows with other member states and enhancing economic stability and growth prospects. Participation in global trade networks has also played a crucial role in Poland's integration into the global economy. The country has embraced export-oriented growth strategies, leveraging its competitive advantages in sectors such as manufacturing, automotive, and information technology. Poland's geographical location at the crossroads of major trade routes in Central Europe has further facilitated its integration into global supply chains and enabled it to become a key player in regional trade dynamics. However, globalization has brought both opportunities and challenges for Poland. On one hand, increased competition from foreign firms has stimulated efficiency and innovation, leading to productivity gains and economic diversification. Foreign direct investment, FDI, inflows have fueled economic development and modernization, particularly in sectors such as infrastructure, technology, and services. On the other hand, globalization has exposed Poland to risks and vulnerabilities, including economic volatility, financial instability, and social dislocation. Rapid integration into global markets has made the Polish economy more susceptible to external shocks and fluctuations in global demand and commodity prices. Moreover, intensified competition from low-cost producers in emerging markets has posed challenges for domestic industries, leading to job displacement and structural adjustment pressures. Economic interdependence, while fostering greater connectivity and interconnectivity with the global economy, has also raised concerns about sovereignty and autonomy. Poland's reliance on foreign markets for exports and foreign capital for investment exposes it to external influences and constraints, potentially limiting its policy autonomy and decision-making flexibility. Poland's integration into the global economy has been a transformative journey characterized by both opportunities and challenges. While EU membership and participation in global trade networks have brought economic benefits and growth prospects, they have also exposed Poland to risks and vulnerabilities associated with globalization and the not always just rules and policies coming from the EU. Going forward, it is essential for Poland to adopt proactive policies and strategies that harness the benefits of globalization while mitigating its adverse effects.